so like Kelsey mentioned earlier, the company's mission statement or motto is that they make people feel better. And the company wants everybody that comes into contact with Humco to feel better because of that contact. So Humco's mission statement can be summarized into 5 main company guiding principles. And here's the chart that they use at Humco. The first thing that they say is that they can be counted on. And so this has to do with reliability. This has to do with reliability as in showing up to work or getting an order out on time. This also has to do with training and SOP training and making sure that every person is trained on each procedure that they are doing. Secondly, we have we get the job done. And this has to do with the whatever it takes attitude that Humco holds. And so they have to get orders out on time and satisfy their customers. And so they do whatever it takes to get that done. And sometimes that means that management or even the president of the company goes out and works on the line to get the order out on time. Thirdly, is we take responsibility. And Humco wants all of its employees to have a sense of ownership in the company. And they want them to have a sense of ownership towards the work that they do and the products that they make. And so everyone's decisions at Humco contribute to the overall success of the company. Fourthly is we find a better way. And so Humco executives and Humco management are always open to suggestions from anyone throughout the company. Ideas can come from any department, any level, and a lot of the process improvement ideas that are brought up at Humco actually come from people that are working firsthand on the line, seeing the inefficiencies and seeing ways that they can improve the overall process. The final and fifth company guiding principle is that we succeed as a team. At Humco, teamwork is vital. And everyone at Humco is expected to treat each other with respect and to work together to achieve the overall company goals. So the next section of our presentation is the determination of objectives and goals at Humco. The first objective that we're going to look at is that Humco wants to increase company sales growth year over year. Some specific goals to meet this objective are one, to set specific monthly sales goals for each individual salesperson. So every salesperson at Humco has a specific monthly sales goal. And in order to reach those monthly sales goals, they are expected to monitor their dollar sales growth every day. And so they don't get to the end of the month and realize that they're running behind, but they are monitoring this on a daily basis so that they stay on track. Thirdly, they want to reach double-digit sales growth by the end of the year, and so they want to have reached at least 10% sales growth by December 31st of this year. The second objective is to increase penetration of market sales territory from 40% to 100%. Currently, Humco has penetrated 40% of America, and in order to reach the 100% penetration level, they want to hire at least 1 to 2 additional salespeople each year for the next 5 years to reach those uncovered territories. So within the next 5 years, they want to have at least 5 or 6 people to cover the entire U.S. And then, in order to keep up with the sales rate, they want to be able to expand their operations at that same rate so that they're not outselling what their capacity is. Thirdly, Humco wants to be on the forefront of new product introduction. And so instead of trying to follow the market and just making what other companies are making, they want to be on the forefront of that new product introduction. And so in order to reach this objective, they want to hold monthly product development meetings. And in those monthly product development meetings, they are introducing this new progress of introducing the product to the market. So first they start out with developing the product. So the chemists and the science team at Humco, they first develop the product, and then they create and refine the product. And then in order to sell the product, they have to educate their sales team on the side effects, the uses, and all the things that need to be known about the product itself before the product even comes to market. And then finally, obviously, they want to bring the product to the market. And this whole process is a 1 to 2 year process as a whole. And so specifically, in September, they want to bring a new compounding cream to market, and so they are already in the middle of this specific process. The next objective is to maintain a 96.5% customer service level. And this has been a long-standing goal at Humco, and they want to continue this objective. And in order to do this, they focus on a cycle of operations and the deadlines associated with each step. And so first of all, we have the scheduling of the next month's operations. And so, for example, in this month, the month of May, they're already planning for the month of June's operations. Next, they have the approval of the schedule. So by the 15th of the previous month, the general manager approves the schedule for the next month, and then the purchasing department will purchase the raw materials needed to produce those products. And then we have production of products, packaging and labeling of products, and then shipping of the finished goods. And so by focusing on the deadlines associated with each of the steps in this process, they are able to maintain the 96.5% customer service level. Next, we have to keep inventory level under budget. And to do this, they hold monthly meetings with the different departments that are necessary to meet those budgets and needed to keep the budget or the spending under budget. Monthly meetings are held with the production, purchasing, scheduling, and asset management departments in order to set a realistic inventory budget. And that is going to be based on the sales, current inventory, and pending orders at the company. Next, we have to keep expenses below the yearly budget. And so like the inventory budget, we have to have a yearly budget. And so the company will divide the year, at the beginning of the year, they will divide the next year into 12 months. And the general manager will monitor the expenses of each monthly budget on a daily basis. That way they don't get to the end of the month and they've exceeded their budget already. Okay, so the next section of our presentation is the formulation of strategy. And the formulation of strategy has 4 specific sections. And in talking with the general manager at Humco, this is the 4 sections that he really emphasizes in formulating the strategy at Humco. The first is to set goals. And in setting goals, they have to be specific and realistic. He also says that you need to involve all relevant members of the organization in the planning stages of setting your goals. Next, you need to develop the goal as a team. And then you need to make sure that all the members of the team understand the goal. Second is delegating the duties. In this section, each individual has to be responsible for a specific portion of the job. And without delegation, the job will not get done. So teamwork is vital, but so is individual responsibility. Thirdly is setting deadlines. Again, with deadlines, you have to be specific and realistic. And without deadlines, again, the job will not get done. And so timelines help everyone stay on track and stay on the same page. Following up is the final step. And in a company, in an organization, and in teams, people have to be held accountable. So accountability will produce results, and the consequences for those who do not meet the goal have to be severe enough to where it's negative reinforcement, and then the rewards have to be, or people that do the job and get the goal done have to be rewarded and praised.